Hello and welcome to the show, Wicklow Good News with me, Jillian Godsil. Today our guest is Ireland's hardest working comedian, Danny O'Brien. Welcome to the show, Danny.
How you doing? How are things?
Not too bad. You are the world's, not Ireland's, they thought the world's hardest working comedian. I was looking at some stats. In 2018, you performed 400 times on stage in a single year.
Probably a few more than that, but yeah, they call it about 400.
It's mad, isn't it? And you did TV and radio, and so you're a very hardworking individual, very funny. I'm watching. Oh, I love your Vanguardy clip on on your YouTube. It's very funny.
We need the guards now. I can't be taking the piss out of them anymore.
Well, you were very lovely about them, even though it was a joke on them. It was it was obviously that you like Vanguardy. Maybe it's the uniform. We won't go there though. But you also travel backwards and forwards between London and here and Dublin. But you say that you prefer to live in Dublin.
Yeah, Dublin's my base. I actually had to fly back early from America because of everything that's been happening. And I was doing loads of shows over there. Now, luckily, I got the last shows done, and I had to come back about 3 days early, which is a bit strange. But yeah, listen, it's like my whole life is traveling and on the go and performing in front of people, and literally all of that has stopped. Everything that I do in my life has just come to an abrupt end. So I think you're dead right. It's we're kind of bombarded with negativity and stuff at the moment, and I know it's driving people's anxiety and stuff through the roof. And even myself personally, the last couple of days in particular, wasn't feeling great. I was getting up quite late as well, and just sleeping in and just being a bit, what's the point? You know what I mean? So what if I get up at 1 p.m. And then this morning, my gym have been really, really creative. And what they've done is they've started these online classes with on Zoom, like we are doing now. And all of us log in together at the same time. And we do it in the sitting room. And you feel like a bit of a spa doing it in the sitting room. But everyone else is doing it. I did that, and then I went for a run. And I feel a million times better. I cannot recommend, it's so important for your stimulus, for your brain, any kind of structure, any kind of exercise. It really gets your day going,
I agree, because last night we had choir practice. I'm with a choir in Tello, and about 20 of us managed to get online with the Zoom. But what was very funny was that because there's a slight time delay, and our choir leader, Gina, was trying to teach us the Italian song, we were flat, we were late.
Yeah.
The noise was horrible, but it was great crack. We did it for an hour, and we said that's a lot of fun. It's sort of bonding. But you're right. On 2 points, I'll take up on you. One is pick up on what you said. It comes in waves. People are not grumpy or happy. They're okay, and then it's very difficult. That wave thing is very difficult. And the second thing that you said, structure. If at all possible, to try and keep that routine going, even if you are cocooning, to get up, shave, whatever you do, have your breakfast, make your bed. It's very important, these sort of structured things in these crazy times that we live in.
I have a whiteboard that I use for writing material. That's how I write a new show. And yesterday I cleared the whiteboard off, and it's something that it was just a mental thing, and I wiped it clean, and I've got a new show up there now. And to be honest with you, it was such a small thing to do, but for my brain, it actually made me feel a hell of a lot better. It kind of gave me a view of looking forward and stuff like that, and a little bit of focus. And or if you have a project, if your bathroom's manky and you want to really deep clean it, pick a day that you're going to do that. There's something we can do in our house every single day. There's nothing's ever finished. Do you know what I mean? Because
I'm laughing at all my neighbors and families. They're all, they're painting the houses, they're doing this. I have not been affected by that virus. I do not want to spring clean or paint my walls or even do the garden. I don't know. I've gone slow-mo, I think.
Everyone's different though as well, and ironically, this is the most amount of time in a row that I've been home in probably 3 years. You know what I mean? Without a break, and it's kind of strange. I was kind of really enjoying it for the first few days. Then I was getting a bit head melted, and I was just oh. But I just set up a WhatsApp group just before I come on to you with 3 other comedians, because we got the news that the Edinburgh Fringe Festival isn't going to happen, which is fair enough. But also that's how we write our whole year. That's how we structure our year. So you spend the whole year working until August, and you try out new material, and then you bring a new show to Edinburgh. You do it for 26 nights in a row. Then you bring that show on tour. That's your year as a comic in this part of the world, and that's now gone. So as a contingency plan, I decided to I'm going to set up a work in progress tour with 3 other really good comics that I work with a lot. And we do half an hour each in smaller venues, hopefully, touch wood, that we can start performing in again. And that's how we'll get a new show written. Do you know what I mean? There's always an alternative, like, and yeah, all of us are going to have to just diversify in every way. Like, our lives are never going to be the same again after this. That's the reality.
No, I think you're right. And what's interesting too as well is that you had a show last year and you called it Lock In.
Yeah, I know.
Did you know something that we didn't know?
No, I actually did loads of prison shows last year. I think the prisoners are laughing at me now. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And then I did a show called Reformer, which is this year's show. So there's still a few tour dates. My tour actually kind of it just got stopped. I had about another 8 dates to go, and then I had a 5-week tour in New Zealand, which got cut as well. So that was a bit of a stinger. So you just got to go. Like, there's no point in counting up the losses or how much money you've lost, because it'll do you no good, because everyone's lost everything. That's the way you have to think about it. There's not a single person in Ireland who hasn't lost because of this in some shape or form, you know. And even if they might not have lost monetary wise, they're not able to see, they can't have kid birthday parties, they can't get to see their parents, their grandparents. So everyone is in the same boat. I think we need to remember that as well, not compare ourselves to others, just go, we're all in this, what can we do to make things better?
I've seen some very moving pictures of Facebooks of grannies seeing their grandchildren for the first time. Behind glass. Yeah. So this distance thing is tough. And actually, just go back to that too as well. You were full steam ahead. I mean, you cracked America. You were on tour in America, and you were when it was cancelled, you were very lucky to get home, I understand.
I was, yeah. I had to do some. My friend Sarah, she's an amazing travel agent, and she's still working actually. She's sorting out a lot of problems for a lot of people. Obviously to do with all flights and changes, cancellations. She's an absolute hero. And she helped me because every day it was changing so much. Like I'd wake up, it was 8 hours ahead, and the like friends are going, you need to come home, this is getting really bad. Like it just changed so dramatically. Like when I was going to America, like the week before, you know, it was a little bit tense, and everyone on the flight was wearing gloves, and it was a little bit, but then it just went like, you know what I mean? It really dramatically changed in the space of like 72 hours. So luckily I got home, and I was delighted to see all the Irish people go back from Peru and stuff like that as well. I saw that in the news last night. So I think we're all home now at the moment, and we all we're not going to have tourism renting for quite some time. That's the reality of it. So we all just need to work. Like, what can we do? Do you know what I mean? What can we do in any shape or form to kind of manage for the next few months until we can kind of get the ball rolling again?
And that's the point you said earlier, and you're very true. You said everybody's lost something, and if it's connection, it's not just money is not important, because the government is doing a great job in giving out the dole, and stopping rent. So people hopefully are not going to be, not be able to afford to eat. But on the other hand, and this is why we have you on today, is people have lost things, but people are gaining stuff. The spirit, the volunteer spirit is just phenomenal. And the reason why we have you on, apart from the fact you're a very funny guy and we love chatting to you, but you were spotted, 2 things you were doing that just were lovely, it's fantastic things. You were walking a friend's dog, and tell me about Tony, this dog.
The dog is amazing. It's a Doberman, and my friend has some health issues, and she's a veterinary nurse, but she's got some immune issues, so she basically can't leave the house at all. And then it was actually another friend of mine who messaged me and said, are you still going for walks in Sandy Mount and blah, blah, blah. I know someone who's looking for their dog to be walked. And then she gave me her name, and I was like, I know her because she comes into my comedy club, and it was the same person. So I just messaged her directly. It was just a weird coincidence. But it was great. Like, I love dogs, and I'm always away. I've always wanted to have a dog, but I'm always, you know what I mean? I'm always on tour or something like that. So it's actually great. I get to hang out with the dog. I social distance it, and to get all the lead and everything, just to make sure, and wear gloves and everything like that. And it's great because the dog gets walked. She takes a bit of pressure off her. She's not feeling guilty. This dog's stuck inside. I'm getting a bit of exercise, and I get to hang out with a dog. So I think everyone's a winner.
That's a really good point, because people, especially with our old folk, well, not even old, but the over 70s, I mean, having to cocoon, and people who have some, like your friend, the nurse who has to stay indoors, they have animals maybe that need being looked after, or even walked. So that's a great idea, isn't it? If you have a friend who can't get out, or an old person who's a little terrier or something, maybe volunteer to walk the dog.
I saw a really beautiful sign up in there. I live 2 minutes from the village here, and someone said, this girl had put up, I'm not in college at the moment. If there's any elderly people, I would love to help you in any way that I can. Here's my number. And she just stuck it up outside Tesco. And I thought that would really sound. I saw another couple of people, kids had drawn this really, I'll send it to you actually afterwards. You can put it up. It's they gave out books basically down by the beach in Sandymount in 2 cardboard boxes. And they were like, if you're bored, here's a book. So they gave away books to anyone who wanted to take them.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And we did a live show, which was on Saturday, just gone, for the Laughter Lounge, and we did it in aid of the Irish Cancer Society, because Daffodil Day is their biggest earner for, you know, how they survive is Daffodil Day. It's their biggest thing of the year, and that's how they, you know, they support all the various different streams. And Daffodil Day was obviously cancelled, so the Laughter Lounge set a goal of €10,000. So myself, Enya Martin, and Steve Cummins did a gig. So we had to do a gig to no one, effectively. We did a gig to a dog.
You had no hecklers, no response, no audience response.
Well, the owner of the Laughter Lounge had like a hazmat suit on a soundboard, and he would press like "ooh" or laugh or whatever. And but like we had to do, so like we filmed that, but we actually had to do the gig to no one. So I had to do 20, and like you don't realize how much you feed off audience energy and stuff till they're not there. Like I did a prison gig to 9 people. I've done gigs to 4 or 5 people. I've done gigs to, you know, 7,000 people. But I tell you, when there's no audience there, it's awkward. Like it's horrendous. You know what I mean? You just feel like you're having some kind of weird monologue. But it ended up, this is a testament to the generosity of Irish people, which I'm really proud of. It exceeded 10,000. It actually raised €42,000 for Irish cancer.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Are you planning, because as you say, your livelihood has stopped?
Yeah.
Suddenly, even your method of producing your plays and your shows have stopped. So are you going to be doing more online stuff going forward, do you think?
Yeah, I'm doing some food stuff every day.
I love that. They're amazing. Oh my goodness. That spoon cut slow roast lamb.
Yeah.
I was salivating looking at that.
It's actually, they're doing a good deal on lamb in Tesco at the moment. It's like £8 a kilo. So I got like 2 kilos for £16, bargain. And loads of leftovers as well. But something I'm looking to move towards as well. I'm going to try and do some budget friendly recipes, like kind of feed a family of 4 for a tenner, that kind of thing. And then whatever, like I don't have a family, so whenever I do have a family, I don't live with like kids or anything like that. But anything I make, I'll just give some to neighbours or something like that. But I want to try and it's so easy to get like frozen pizzas and 2-litre bottles of Coke, you know, all that kind of crap. And like that's the last thing we need now. Like you need to be I love food more than anyone. But I think now is the time we need to try and focus on being as healthy as we can. You know, obviously have a break at the weekends and stuff like that. But you know, now is not the time to be binging, eating snack boxes and pizzas and stuff, because you need your health. And if you don't need it, older relatives need your health for you to do stuff for them.
There's a lot of funny memes out there, aren't there, with, you know, before the virus, the fit, healthy people, and then after the quarantine, fat slobs.
I went from America into this virus quarantine thing, and I was like, that's why I have to do the gym. I was like, I'm going to be waddling out of this apartment if I don't. But I think it's about rewarding yourself as well. Like if you train or run or walk Monday to Friday, then have a glass of wine on Saturday, you know, or whatever. Have a pizza, have a takeaway if you want. But I think we need to build that reward, like that you've earned it, instead of just going, listen, feck it, let's just eat crap for the next few weeks, you know. You'll feel awful at the end of it, like.
Yeah, and also, mind you, exercise is a reward in itself, because you know that's those feel good hormones that you get when you walk or run, whatever.
Get your endorphins going. Like I was knackered when I woke up this morning. I was really stressed out last night. I was kind of going, what am I going to do? I was just worrying about a million different things, about my family, about work, about, you know, all cancelled shows, cancelled festivals. And then this morning I lashed the gym out of it, and then I went for a run. I just had some food before I got on to you, made a quick cooking video, and I've done 3 things already. I've done 4 things now today. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you made your bed.
And I made my bed.
So tell me, are you going to do some comedy online too as well? Do you have plans to maybe do something like that?
I am. There's a few different things happening. I know Carl Spain and Andrew Maxwell, and I think Kerry Alderton and Joe Caulfield are doing a show tonight from Galway. It's going to be streamed from Galway. So they're doing stuff. So it'll be like a Zoom chat, and there's a few different projects like that that are going on. And so yeah, I'm just like I've already done a gig to no one, so the bar has been set. Like nothing.
So if people want to find you and follow you, what's the best way to find you online?
Instagram. I've never been more active on Instagram than I am at the moment. So it's at DOB Comedy, and my Facebook is Danny O'Brien Comedy as well. But just DOB Comedy on Instagram and Twitter. I haven't had a breakdown and had to move to TikTok just yet, but maybe that's on the card.
Possibly. Listen, thank you so much for coming on and brightening our day. It's brilliant. We love walking the dogs. That's something that I wouldn't have necessarily thought of. So maybe look around your neighborhood. Maybe there's somebody who's cocooning, who has an animal that needs exercise.
Yeah, or just, and like obviously keep up social distancing and all that kind of stuff. But, if you see some old people, just ask them if they need some stuff. If it means you have to drop a bag at their door and then give them a ring to go collect it so there's no interaction. But, whatever small, take someone's bins out for them. Do you know what I mean? If there's anything that at all that you can do, maybe someone wants their washing hung out outside, they don't want to go out, just little things like that. Like it's like we've got nothing but time in our hands now, so I don't think any of us have an excuse to not be giving people a dig out. It's a good thing to do. It makes you feel better as well,
Yeah, and it's lovely to watch as well. I mean, I feel good just hearing about what you're doing. I'm sort of sharing your general warmth. Listen, thank you so much, Danny, today for your time. It's brilliant. Really appreciate it. Oh, I like the picture. And to everybody out there listening, be good, be safe, and help others. And if you have any heroes that you hear of, Wicklow heroes, tell us, and we're going to feature them. So thank you very much again, Danny.
Take care.